This is Shutters Inc. with Bruce Williams and Glyn Lavender.
Hi and welcome to episode 556 of Shutters Inc. Back for another year. This is Bruce Williams from shuttersincpodcast.com and joining me once again via Skype from Melbourne, Victoria from creativephotoworkshops.com.au, it is Mr. Glyn Lavender. Happy New Year.
Are you saying that our last episode of last year was 555?
I am.
How do we not make any silly references to Hollywood phone numbers? In every movie, every TV show.
Yes.
Oh, call Dave, it's 555
Yes.
5582.
Yes.
It's always 555.
That's right.
Can we do it now? Can we?
Of course you can, mate. Go for it.
It's probably too late. I can't think of anything. If I'd known, I could have prepared something.
It's so last year.
God, Happy New Year. It's like a whole new year.
It is like a whole new year.
I saw someone putting something up just before on Facebook. They're just wrapping up a weekend that they run in America, and they're saying bookings are now open for 2025. I'm going, that's some mystical time in the far distant future. 2025, Bruce.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like space 1999. We're living on the moon. What would we be doing by 2025?
Yeah. Do you realise that come the end of this year, it will be a quarter of a century since the Y2K debacle?
Oh, my God.
How crazy is that?
Worse than that, towards the end of the year, it's going to be the 25th anniversary since my football club last won the premiership.
That would seem like an even longer period.
It's a quarter of a century. And to make matters even worse, towards the end of this year, I'm 60.
No.
60, Bruce.
Oh, man.
60.
I don't want to think about that. I was saying to Kath the other night, 40 didn't bother me, 50 didn't bother me, 60 bothers me.
30 really bothered me.
Really?
Nearly had a meltdown at 30.
Yeah, right.
40 and 50, but I'm starting to get concerned about this because that's old. I saw some T-shirt the other day that said, when you realise you're as old people. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
How was your Christmas?
It was a disaster.
Why?
Well, so the Christmas this year, Christmas lunch on Christmas Day was going to be at my place, and be myself and the missus and the two kids, and then her sister, husband, and their two kids come along, and then my mother and father-in-law. Right. That's like all there is of that side of the family in Victoria.
Yeah.
So I was going to have everyone around together. Well, 8 or 9 days out from Christmas, one of the members of my sister-in-law's family came down with COVID.
Oh, no.
And then another one comes down with COVID.
Oh, no.
And then another one comes down with COVID. Yeah, and it's getting up to like December 23 and 2 of them are still testing positive.
Oh, no.
And it's like, should we just call? Let's just cancel them. Let's just, okay, look, guys, we'll do something a week after Christmas or something. You just don't wait. Okay. So it's down to just mother-in-law and father-in-law. That's right, nice quiet one. No worries at all. 4 o'clock Christmas Eve, mother-in-law calls. Yeah. Talking to Kat, your dad's got a massively infected eye and he's in hospital.
No.
So you'd had cataract surgery like the week before, and some part of it had got infected and it all swollen shut and pain and swelling and stuff. So he's in hospital. We're going to have to cancel tomorrow.
Oh, no.
What made it worse is they were bringing all the food.
Oh, no.
So 4 o'clock, other than the roast potatoes, which I was doing, and the salad, which my missus was doing, they're bringing everything else, all the seafood, the cooked meats.
How far away did they live?
Well, they live like half an hour away, but it's not cooked, and they weren't going to be cooking it anymore because they ain't coming. So it's not like I can say, spend all this time.
Cook it for us, I'll come over and pick it up.
Yeah, leave him in hospital, go home and cook into the night. I'll be there. And if you're heading back to hospital to see him, can you drop it off on the way pass? So 4 o'clock Christmas Eve, it's like, we have nothing for Christmas lunch. Right. Other than some roast potatoes and a salad that the kids won't eat.
Oh, no.
So it's now Dad's job to run out and try and source Christmas lunch 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve. So I bolted up to our local Aldi because I know they've got stuff that not everyone else has, and so I'll start with them and I'll work my way to Coles and I'll go to the other mobs. Yeah. And I've gone into Aldi and there's this perfect size for 4 people turkey roast.
Okay.
Covered in honey glazed bacon.
Right.
And a pumpkin spice mash, not filling, what do they call it?
Stuffing.
That goes, stuffing. It's stuffing inside this thing. And it was on sale because it was 4:30 on Christmas Eve. They're trying to clear everything out. Yeah. So I bought this thing and other stuff as well. Got home, cooked this thing. Best thing I've had in 20 years.
Wow.
At Christmas lunch. The honey glazed bacon was to die for. The turkey was fabulous and flavoursome, and the stuff in the middle, the stuffing was delicious.
And this was from Aldi?
Aldi, yeah. And
Nice.
it's like cost me like $17. It was down from like 35 down to 17 because it was 4:30, 4:45 on Christmas Eve. And they had like 4 or 5 left. But that was all they had. It was like everything else was empty except for like 4. So thank God that it was acceptable. And so it was that and roast potatoes and veggies and salads and prawns and all the stuff that we tend to do for a Christmas day down here. And then I'd run around and get desserts, Christmas puddings and custard. That's how trying to buy custard on Christmas Eve is impossible. Yeah, so that was the stress I didn't need at 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, right.
And then it poured it down with rain all day Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely bucketed it down. So, which is perfect. We didn't have to drive anywhere, which you often do on most Christmas days. We just didn't have anyone coming over. We just got up leisurely, watched the kids open their presents, opened our own presents, had coffee, lazed around.
Nice.
The food was basically all prepared, so it was just like shove it in the oven and just relax.
Perfect Christmas day.
It was the best Christmas day in years. So it started out a disaster, ended up bloody brilliant.
Excellent.
And then a week later, we got everyone healthy, and then they all came over, and I think one of them gave me COVID. Then I got COVID. So I had COVID like the week before last, so it was probably a bit late for them getting it to me, but still.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's been it was an eventful. How was your Christmas? With Max down and everything?
So Max was down for 3 weeks, which was fantastic. It was great to see him. We had 17 people here for Christmas Day.
Oh, Jesus.
16 of whom stayed the night.
Oh, Jesus.
So the place was like a bed.
Where did you stay? I would have gone somewhere else. Where did you stay?
So
moved out.
We had people everywhere. Like here in my study, there were 2 people crashed out on the floor. In the media room, there was 1 adult on the sofa and about 4 or 5 kids sleeping on the floor.
Oh, my God.
There was another adult sleeping on the lounge in the music room. It was just people everywhere. So
wow.
But it was good. We had a good day, and I love living in the country again. Okay, because we essentially live in a small country village now.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, we left home at 8:20, drove down to a sort of a lakeside suburb, which is about a 12-minute drive from here, parked the car within half a kilometre of the jetty, walked down to the jetty, got a seat on the jetty with our legs dangling over the edge, so we weren't even looking over somebody's shoulder, with 2 minutes to spare, watched the fireworks, which went for 20 minutes, which was twice as long as Sydney's fireworks, and then walked back to the car, got in the car, and we were home by 9:45. Oh. It's like, yes, winning.
Oh, God.
That's how it should be.
We had friends over for New Year's Eve staying the night, and there was only 3 of them, not 16, which is craziness. But our local park, often the neighbours will come out with their fireworks and set them off in the local park.
Yeah, right.
And for those who don't know, in Australia, it's illegal to have fireworks.
Yes.
So they have these illegal fireworks. So anyway, 5 to 12 or 10 to 12, we walk up to the park, and there's always people milling around because they know the locals are going to come out with their fireworks, you know. And then this one family come out and they walk out to wherever people set the fireworks off, and they were the only ones that showed up, and they looked around and they said to everyone, "Sorry guys, we've only got 3." And there were one that fired stuff up into the air for about 8 seconds. 2 that spun on the ground, and it was over. And everyone trundled back to the house. Sorry, guys. Well, how do you only have 3 fireworks? How does that happen? Yeah, so it's kind of funny. But did you take your camera down to the tripod?
I did. I did take the camera down to the jetty, and I got some nice fireworks photos. And I did notice, and I never heard whether anyone was hurt, but right towards the end, as it was sort of building up to the climax and the shells were getting bigger, I noticed one shell, like, because they were fired off the water, like on the bay, and probably, I don't know, 150 metres from where we were sitting on the jetty. But I noticed this shell that it went boof, like you got the thump as it took off, but it literally only got about 10 metres in the air, and boom, and it was like a big-ass shell, like one of those that was meant to go up 100 metres before it exploded. And it exploded about 10 metres above sea level. I was thinking, wow, that was not meant to happen like that.
Dear, dear.
Yeah. So.
When I used to live in Canada, there's certain fireworks are legal in Canada, and a whole bunch aren't. So anything that comes down to the ground is illegal.
Right.
So you have stuff that goes up in the air and explodes, but nothing can come down.
Yep.
But of course, the fun ones are the ones that. So I used to sneak over into Washington State, and on the Indian reservations, you could buy anything.
Right.
I'm talking, you could buy like mortar shells with like a 10-inch bloody shell.
Jeez.
And it's like about a metre high mortar tube that you buy, drop this whopper there. But anything you wanted, they had. But the best thing was they had these little square cardboard box.
Yeah.
Remember the old bottle rockets? Just a little rockets and a little stick, and and that's all it did.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of fun for kids, but not great for adults or great entertainment. But they used to have this cardboard box. There would be 100 of them,
right?
All with no sticks, with all the sticks taken off, and all on one fuse. Right? So you light this fuse. And I got one because they're only like $4 or something.
Yeah,
There we go. I'll try one. So we in this middle of nowhere to set this thing off the night. We lit the fuse, and we've gone back about 10 feet. Yeah, safe distance, you know. But the problem is not having any sticks, which is the guidance system.
Yeah.
These fucking things go everywhere. So all of a sudden, there's 100 projectiles flying in every possible direction. So that was the second stupidest thing with fireworks, and the stupidest thing was the first time I went to India. It was for Dev Diwali festival.
Okay,
and I didn't really know what was going on. I got to the hotel, did some shooting, went out that night. I've got out of the hotel into this alleyway. There's all these people letting off fireworks like crazy, and this guy's come out with this massive roll of 10,000 crackers.
What?
Little like, so the crackers are like, they're little red things with a little tiny fuse, but it's a roll of 10,000 of them. Whoa. And these are all about 2-inch size crackers, right?
Wow.
And he rolls out, it's like about 30 metres long. Right. And he lights the fuse on each end, and all 10,000 of these go off over 10 seconds. But the problem is, the things are flying, the missiles are flying bloody everywhere, and they're burning hot. And I'm being pelted by these flying, and people are just running, diving for cover, and there's just shit. It's like a war zone. 10,000 uncontrolled fireworks going off in a couple of seconds. It's like... But you'd see people over there, they'd be buying like a boxed fireworks or one firework, but they've got like a little mini hatchback car, right? And they're strapping 2 of these to the roof, and they're overhanging the roof, right? It's like those rocket launchers. Oh God! And I used to work in a Chinese grocery store. It was my first ever job. And those days, it was legal to sell fireworks.
This sounds like a joke. I'm waiting for the punchline.
No, it's the truth. Saturday mornings, 9 till 1, and I got $12 for doing it.
Right.
It was legal to sell fireworks on the Queen's birthday weekend.
Right.
It was legal to sell. And at the end of every end of that weekend, this give me a huge bag load of fireworks because they hadn't been sold. So
right.
I'd have a bunch of... me and my mate Dave from across the street used to get those little Roman candles that fire out the little coloured balls.
Yep. And
those days you used to have garbage cans made of metal with the metal lid. So you'd hold the lid like a shield and fire the firework at each other. Yeah,
Oh,
and the
okay.
shields are trying to attack each other. And then I'm in my backyard, firing one up there, and one exploded in my bloody hand.
Oh,
And my mum, there's this massive explosion. My mum comes bolting out the back. What was that? What was that? And there's me trying to seeing if I've got all my fingers, trying not to show I'm in pain. Nothing, Mum. Nothing here. I just came out to see myself. I'm just having it. Oh, fireworks are dangerous thing. So, did you use your new triggery thing to?
no.
Have you used your new triggery thing to? No.
I thought about it, and
It's just let me double check. It was $500, right?
yes, yeah. I'm actually thinking
I know
I'm
you
going to try and
listen to
sell
the
it.
show, so it's okay to say that.
I'm going to try and sell it.
Oh, really? But you haven't
Yep.
even used it once.
No,
Has the whole experience been soured for
it
you?
really has. It really has. I so wanted to take it to Alaska.
Yeah.
And the communication from the company was a bit, ho-hum.
But don't you think it's not worth at least just seeing if it's awesome?
How about I send it to you? No, you couldn't be bothered.
I'm going to use it. I mean, look, I loved it. I just don't do the photos
Yeah.
that kind of tool would be useful for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think I'm really impressed with it. I really
And
think it's an
you know what
amazing
else has kind of... I guess the other reason that I've kind of gone cold on it is the idea that I really think it's designed for people who shoot JPEG. And I don't shoot JPEG.
Yeah.
I like to shoot RAW. I enjoy the process of developing an image afterwards.
The process of process.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing that you mean. You like the joy of capturing something yourself, not just pressing a button and letting a tool do the work.
Yeah, I do. I do. I still miss my trigger trap. I loved that thing.
What happened to that?
I got stolen in Paris.
Oh, man. Oh, that's right, when you had your bag stolen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so that's kind of, it's kind of where I'm at.
Man.
But anyway.
Is there a market for it, though?
Well, look, I know that there are still people who are going, I really want one of these, and, when are they shipping kind of thing. So
they're still struggling to ship them, are they?
Yeah. So I really need to just get active and go,
well, whilst there's still demand.
I've got one, and it's not been used,
Yeah.
So, So anyway.
Did you take any other photos over Christmas?
Well, I just did a photo shoot on the weekend just gone.
Did you?
Yeah. With Teigan.
Ah, you're regular.
Yes. I think it must be about our 7th shoot together, I think.
So what did you do? You've done Red Riding Hood. You've done what's the other cliches you've done, sorry?
They're all cliches. It was a bit of a last-minute thing, actually. I didn't reach out to her until... I think probably the Wednesday or the Thursday of last week. And I said, hey, you got any plans for the weekend? And she went, no, not really. What did you have in mind? And I said, I was thinking, maybe do an Australia Day type of shoot, something that,
Invading.
Yeah, exactly,
Invading the countryside? Or,
yeah, that's it. So
bringing smallpox to unheralded people and...
that's it.
Wiping out entire.
Yeah, so and it just so happened.
So tell me, what is Australia Day theme? She's wearing a flag.
Yeah,
isn't that disrespectful? Isn't that disrespectful for the flag?
She had a T-shirt with Australia on it, and
that's okay. Zinc cream on the nose.
We didn't do that. No.
Floppy hat with corks.
Well, she had an Akubra.
Okay.
So,
no corks.
But she brought a few different costumes, so it wasn't entirely an Australia Day theme, but we just did a bunch.
She wasn't wearing a kangaroo?
No, she was not wearing a kangaroo. But Kath and I had gone on a motorbike ride over the Christmas break and had stopped at this little... just typical Australian country hotel in this tiny little village of, maybe 300 people. So I thought I wouldn't mind doing the shoot there. So I rang the pub on the, the Thursday or whatever it was. And I said, mate, we stopped at your pub a couple of weeks back for lunch and a drink. And I said, I'm a photographer from, this little village and, not far away. And I said, I'm planning on doing a shoot with a model. Would you mind if we came and shot at the pub? And he went, when were you thinking of doing it? And I said, Sunday morning. He goes, yeah, not a problem. See you then. Wow. It was just like too easy. And so we shot at this little pub called the Khartoum Hotel at Kitchener. And
As in Khartoum?
that's the one.
So it's named after the Egyptians.
I guess. And this guy has a standing, one of those burger challenges. It's more than just a burger. He said it is 5 kilograms of food, and if you can put that away in half an hour, it's $500. He said 93 people have attempted it.
Yeah.
One person has been successful, and that person has done it 3 times.
Oh, jeez. I'd be banning them.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you've done it once, banned.
Exactly.
You get one chance. I wouldn't let them do it again.
So, anyway, we went and did our shoot there, and I've put a couple of the images up so far. I've earmarked.
If anyone likes that sort of food challenge sort of stuff, there's a guy I watch on YouTube, a pommy guy called Beard Meets Food.
Right.
Because he's got a big beard.
Right.
He's very funny, very good stuff, very, very, very worthwhile having a bit of a watch.
Nice.
So he eats enormous amounts of food in ridiculously short periods of time, and somehow it doesn't explode.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how you eat 5 kilos in half an hour. I couldn't eat that in 24 hours.
Even just like your jaw getting sore from chewing.
Yeah.
I
don't know that you could chew. You'd have to be just taking bites and swallowing it whole. But that would just make you ill. Oof. But anyway, so apart from that and the fireworks, that was probably the limit of my shooting over the...
Well, how did your shoot go with Teigan? Were you happy with the stuff? Yeah.
I was happy.
Have you posted it anywhere?
Yeah, I've posted a couple of images on Instagram and Facebook so far, although the Facebook stuff is in the Dark Table group, so it's not on my profile. I have posted them on Instagram, and I probably earmarked
Do I follow you?
Probably not.
I should maybe. What are you under, Bruce Williams?
Yeah.
Bruce Williams photography. There you are.
Yeah.
No, look, I follow you. It says it right there. Look, following.
How's that?
Yeah, so let's have a look here. Too much wall. What? I don't understand that photo.
That's good.
Like that, but hate the background.
Yeah.
Just the best of the 3 shots for my taste, is the one in the hat and the red check shirt. Right. So is that a fridge or something in the background?
She's in the bar. She's in the main bar of the pub.
But why?
Because it's where we started.
And then you got this bright white line straight down.
That's in the fridge.
So all that does is draw your eye straight to it. So you could clone that out straight away.
Yeah.
And it would be nowhere near as distracting. Okay. But those 2 bright lines, especially, and the thing is, if they were shaped, if they were curved, or if they were balls, they're not as much a draw as being straight lines. Straight, bright thing. Yeah. You probably won't even see the girl. There's a girl in the photo. I struggle to see the girl. All I can see is the line.
Okay.
So just for the sake of it, when you can, get the photo and just clone that out and just compare the 2 and see how your eye changes, how you look at the photo.
Okay.
So I actually ran a workshop this weekend, just gone, for the first time in 4 years.
Wow.
An actual full day workshop. And one of those images I show is a girl, not dissimilar composition to that photo. Yep. It's a girl, but she's leaning against a plain red wall.
Okay.
Right? And I asked everyone what they see, and they describe the girl in all this detail and stuff, blah, 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 blah. Then I show the same photo, but in that big space where the red wall is, I put a black dot.
Right.
And now they can't hardly see the girl. They can't not see this bloody dot.
Yep.
It's just one little black spot.
Yeah.
And so there's pulls and pushes in photos.
Yep.
And the blank red wall is a push, and it pushes your eye towards the subject.
Right.
And the black dot, or in this case, your white straight lines, they're pulls. They're at the very least giving you half of the attention of someone looking at the photo is focused on that.
Right.
So you're only getting a half look at the person.
Yeah.
Makes sense? And we're talking immediate reactions, not I'm going to study the photo for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But when you first look at a photo, if half your distraction is taken away from what you're trying to point out, and it's something that could be fixed, well, it makes sense to fix it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I can't, no, to be honest, I haven't got my reading glasses on. I can't really see the other photos very well because I can't.
So the second one, she's beside a motorbike.
Really? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I thought it was a horse saddle or something. You'd never know that's a motorbike.
No.
Because it doesn't look, and it doesn't, and it's incongruous because there's a motorbike with an Australian flag on top of it.
Yeah.
And don't understand that. And what's behind her in this one? But it looks like a really cool shed. So you've got this really cool shed, a model in a reasonably nice outfit, and then you bring in these other things in that just doesn't say Australia Day. I mean, the flag says Australia, but the bike doesn't say Australia Day.
No.
God, you wanted this critique, didn't you? And the first one...
I didn't.
I know you did. And the first one... when I said there's just too much wood panelling. So this is a thirds image. There's 3/3 in this photo.
Yeah.
There's 1/3 black, 1/3 girl, 1/3 wood.
Yep.
Yeah, and usually when you want a photo of a pretty girl, that's not the kind of wood you're after. That's what I'm saying. So the wood again to me is a pull.
Yeah.
And if you were to divide that wood into thirds.
Yeah.
And discard the left-hand 2/3 and leave. I think you'd find your balance would shift completely.
Yeah,
because I'm zooming out 2/3 of that. Right. It's actually quite a nice image.
Okay. I
just find it's all about weight and balance again for me. You know, I know you don't want this critique and you're not going to listen to it anyway. But somebody out there may go and look at it and go, "Oh, I see what he's saying." And there's some because this rest of this podcast is going to be full of crap. So we may as well speak about something of merit towards actually about proper photography.
That's right.
So what weight do all the elements have in the photograph, and do they add to the story or take away by the weight you put into them? Right. So there's a third of your photo is a lump of wood.
Yep.
How does that influence? And it's not like it shows you an old barn or the shape or all the other stuff that could be more, I don't know. But notice what I didn't critique?
No.
I didn't critique your lighting on the model's poses, the way she looked, and because she got all that really good.
Right.
Well, she looks really good in all three of those photos, Bruce.
Okay. Cool.
So that's good.
Yep.
It doesn't look. It's not trite. It's not try hard. It's not. So all those look good. It's just okay. We've got a good image. And if I'm shooting this, and let's say I'm doing this shoot, and I'm doing those things. This is what I'm doing to my own photos. I'm looking and going, where's the weight? What have I done wrong? Right. How do I eliminate it? And if I wanted to shoot that shot with the fridge in the background, and I saw those lights, I'd be happy to shoot it, knowing that I'd be cloning out those lights afterwards.
Right.
The same way if I had to photograph against a wall and there's a no standing sign or something on it, I know I'd probably be cloning that out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it kind of added something interesting. And that brings me back to my workshop I did on the weekend. I did a natural light workshop.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties in quite nicely because I set up this one particular shot. Funny enough, one of my favourite images I've shot in a long time. I loved it. But a woman who was at the workshop posted the photos online, her photos, and it wasn't the composition I recommended, and her composition, basically it was an entrance to an underground car park. Right. It was an old bikie with a cool beard, cool moustache and cool hair and stuff, and really, really good profile.
Yep.
And the objective was to try and turn the background black by using the camera's ability to see light and dark. Yep. And straight out of camera, it was perfect. It looked great. But she shot horizontal rather than vertical.
Right.
And by doing that, she's added more of the background, because obviously a horizontal shows more than a vertical would do. And in that dark background, there's a no standing sign.
Right.
And because it's white, it stands out more, Yep. And but it's still kind of dark and distant. But it's this thing hovering in the black beyond this guy. And she put him on Facebook and said, "Oh, do you mind critiquing my photos?" So I went to grabbed a photo, cropped it vertically rather than put a post back, said, "I would prefer this." And she goes, "Oh no, I deliberately shot, but give way the no standing sign." I'm going, but you're not shooting what I told you to shoot. Yeah, but more importantly, it's what is the appeal? I don't understand why you would want that in the photograph. You've got this majestic. I mean, I'm telling you, I love this photograph. This photograph is freaking awesome.
Right.
And I don't like many of my photos, so for me to like it, and then a second I looked at the back of the camera, I went, hell's yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nothing. I could do this shot a million times in a day.
Yeah.
But just what came together was this great character face in great lighting that I put him in.
Yeah.
You know, but to then not I don't know, to see that fridge light and be okay, still okay with it. But that's, I don't know. Am I anal? Am I? Is it?
I've already darkened it. Like if you were to see,
you should have cloned that sucker right out. Don't even darken it.
Yeah.
Because darkening's not going to do it.
Yeah. If you were to see the original, you would understand that this is an improvement over what came straight out of camera.
Yeah. Yeah, but dude, you've got the ability to erase that in a second flat.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, you truly do.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know what you were doing. You might have been busy. You might not have had a lot of time to do stuff, to muck around with photos.
I'll tell you something. That was the first image of the day.
That explains a lot, doesn't it? So how quickly did you set that photo up?
I don't know, 60 seconds, 90 seconds.
Okay. And how long did you shoot it for?
A 200th of a second.
How many photos did you take?
Oh, in that position?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, and then you moved on somewhere else?
Yeah, and then we moved somewhere else, and I think I went with that one because of the facial expression was the best of the 3 or something like that.
Since 2005, Shutters Inc. has been a labour of love. But beyond the time required to produce it, there is also a financial commitment. If you find value in the podcast and would like to help keep the servers running, hit up the Patreon link, which is in the show notes. Even a couple of dollars a month will help. Much appreciated. Now, back to the podcast.
Here's the thing. I had 8 people at the workshop,
Yeah.
and I've never had online feedback so good ever, I think.
Right.
I think nearly every single person, I mean, they're sharing on their own socials. They're doing just putting stuff out all over the place,
Yep.
recommending to come to one of my events. And yeah, you might get 1 or 2 people, but not everybody.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't a horrendous day out. But I mean, for me as a perfectionist, what I would have liked, it wasn't as smooth sailing. You know, some days everything just goes really easy,
Yep.
and everything comes together. This one, just a bit harder work.
Yeah.
But one of the big things I was emphasising them, especially on days when it's a bit of a you're struggling with your art, is to spend 5 or 10 minutes setting up the shot. And 60 seconds shooting it versus 60 seconds setting up the shot and 2 or 3 minutes shooting it.
Right.
Because if you spend that 5 minutes, you're either going to move on somewhere else because all the problems are too hard to fix, or you're going to resolve all the issues that make the photograph a bit of a struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. I reckon we all tend to do this because you're saying the first shot of the day. Yeah, you want to get shooting. You just start doing the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And that's probably the time. That's probably the one shoot of the day where you should take the most time. No, mostly because if it is shit, I'm not saying this is, but let's say if your first shoot of a day is just absolute garbage, all you do is put yourself under pressure.
Right.
All you do is start worrying that it's not working. This is no good. All the inner voices start going at you. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas if you spend 5 minutes or so trying to make that first one really good. Even if it means walking around for 10 minutes in the same location trying to find the primo location for shot number 1, is that ability again to start to go and to relax because it's actually doing really good. You've got a couple of really nice shots in the can straight away. And that's like the thing when you're shooting weddings. The very first photo you should do is a beautiful window portrait of the bride, because it always looks gorgeous relative to how they look. It gives you confidence, makes you relax, but also makes the subject relax because they know it's one less thing they have to worry about. Yeah, because it's working. It's all happening what they promised. Oh, here's another thing too. What lens were you shooting that with?
Tamron 2875 2.8.
Yeah. So what else? What other lenses did you have with you?
15mm manual focus f2 wide angle and a 7200 2.8, which was too much reach in that space.
Well, you couldn't walk further back?
No, I was up against the wall.
Okay, yeah. I say, because a bigger zoom would have narrowed that background distraction angles an awful lot as well, you know?
Yeah, so I'd have to check the EXIF metadata, but I think I shot it at 75 at 2.8.
Yeah,
so
I imagine you probably would have zoomed in as far as you could have gone. And
yeah, sorry, not at 2.8. I would have been shooting at about f4 or f5.6.
yeah, so there's probably not because her I plane to you is pretty much straight to sensor.
Yeah. So could have gone wider.
Yeah, they're the times you can shoot at 1.8 and 1.4. These slim lights because because that's the only thing you can do is have them look directly at you. Otherwise, even the slightest angle and one eye's out of focus.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would an out of focus bright white line
would have been a bigger target to clone.
It would have been. It wouldn't. I just messaged you a photo on SMS, by the way, of that photo. That photo without the white things in the background.
Yep.
And see the difference?
Not without looking at the original, but yeah, I get the point.
I struggle now with those white lines taken out to realise that it's a fridge back there. But when those lights were on, I immediately knew what it was.
Right.
So that's another interesting little thing about recognition of objects that we're used to seeing as people. Maybe you know, it's it's like you can see half of something and know exactly what it is, you can read every third word on a sentence and know what the whole sentence because our brain is designed to recognise patterns
to fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks. So those lights straight away told me beer fridge.
Yep.
And then I zoomed in. Sure enough, it was. And I reckon without those,
makes it a bit more abstract,
especially without my glasses on. Yeah, I mean, do you know what it looks like to me without the glasses on? It looks like a trophy cabinet.
Oh, okay.
It kind of looks like it's like imagine like a football club, and they've got the trophy, an old trophy cabinet with like the silver cups kind of reflecting a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, my brain could easily supplant that as the image it sees, and it's in my head.
Yeah, right.
So maybe you should put both these photos up on the show notes, just for anyone who's who's interested in. I mean, I love this sort of stuff. I think this is my strength as a photographer.
Of course,
is grasping what we see and feel and think when we look at only people, forget anything else. Again, it's strictly limited to this. And again, it comes down to only to fix up my own shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And when I'm running a workshop like I did on the weekend, I'm looking at people's camera from an angle for half a second and telling them everything that's wrong with their photo and telling them to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you have to get used to. Yeah, is because you don't want people going away with a photo that failed to meet the brief of what we're trying to teach.
Of course, yeah.
But you've got 8 people you've got to pull apart and control the next person shooting whilst fixing up the person who's just shot. So I sort of honed that ability to disassemble a photograph. But here's the thing: I found myself noticing on the weekend, I almost never looked at the person in the photo.
Right.
So when I'm looking at the photo, I'm not actually even recognise. I'm not even looking.
At the subject.
Blinking? I'm just looking at everything else, all the extraneous stuff that would detract. Because I'm going to assume that maybe the person isn't blinking and they managed to get it in focus.
Yeah. Because
those things shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah.
So it's composition and distractions are probably the two things I noticed the most. But I thought about it. I was halfway through. I kind of brought myself up thinking about, I'm not even looking at what the expressions on any of these photos, which I thought was quite an interesting thing as well.
Yeah,
but it went well. I'll say
it did.
So well. Well, I've got another one on February 25, and that's all sold out as well. So we're now looking at putting another one in March as well. So
beautiful.
If there's anyone in Melbourne or Ocean Grove down the countryside,
physically you coped okay.
I was sore the next day.
Right.
But what I planned for was a nana nap on the way home, thinking I'd be so exhausted I'd have to pull over and sleep for half an hour or so. And I didn't have to. I drove home and I was okay to start for 2:00 my normal time.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, I actually physically did pretty darn good, and it wasn't an overly warm day though. That probably helps.
Yeah.
It was only low 20s.
Nice.
Celsius, so it was quite pleasant. I looked out. I got up in the morning. I looked out the window of my house, and it was wall to wall blue sky.
Oh,
I thought,
gorgeous.
that's what Natural Light Workshop. I want nothing but blazing blue sky, sunny days. And as I'm driving down, it's getting cloudier and cloudier and cloudier. And for 90% of the day, it was wall-to-wall grey clouds.
Oh, what?
So flat, lifeless light. And it was literally only the last 20 minutes of the day, sunlight came out.
Yeah,
It was
right.
this is so typical.
So a couple other things to mention. Over
Yes.
the Christmas break, Google sent me a notification saying that if I wanted to create a channel for my podcast, I could do so. So we now have a Shutters Inc. podcast channel on YouTube, which won't have video, but it will just automatically suck in the audio from the RSS feed and create a video with just a static thumbnail on YouTube. So if you decide that YouTube is your preferred consumption method, you can now listen to Shutters Inc. on YouTube. So
Oh yeah, look at that. We're going all the way back to episode 536.
right. Is that as far
goes
back as it goes, is it?
Well, on this feed, this
Okay.
it does here. Yeah. 536 through to 555. That's like a phone number.
There you
20
go.
videos.
20.
There we go.
So maybe they've limited it to the last 20 episodes. But yeah,
We should consider one day doing video.
dude, it's a lot of work.
Not for me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I also bought myself a Christmas present.
Did you? What'd you get?
Yeah. An Asus Pro Art 27-inch 4K monitor,
Oh, that's going to be good for gaming.
which, well, if you game, I guess it would be. Kalman verified, got every picture color space imaginable, so 100% sRGB, 100%
Does it have
Adobe
Betamax
RGB.
from 1987?
Oh, better.
Color space?
Rec 709, Rec 2020.
I don't know what any of that is.
Oh, they're all video
Extra
color
red?
spaces. Extra red.
Extra red? Does it have cowbells?
Has
Can
more
also have more
cowbell.
cowbells.
Has
Can
more
also have more
cowbell.
cowbells, dude.
Yes. So yeah, so
Is it good?
Just got it last week, so
Wow.
loving it.
Wow.
What I need though, I need a second one because my second monitor is 1080.
Oh.
And I do find it a little disconcerting that you either scale everything beautifully for the 4K monitor and then things look a bit weird on the 1080 monitor, or you make everything look good on the 1080 monitor and everything is microscopic on the 4K monitor. So
Wow.
I need to reach out to Asus and go, oi, fix me up with the second one. So, or something. I don't know.
Very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got all hot and heavy myself for monitors pre-Christmas, thinking, I'd love to get a monitor.
Right.
But then realised, well, I do all my editing with my finger on the trackpad on my laptop, on my lap, laying on the couch.
Right.
Not much room for a 27-inch bloody monitor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking about getting to not be able to use while sitting on the couch. So I don't know. It's funny how you get obsessed about stuff, and it's like, I'm going to get some monitors. They're all the same kind of thing. But you're never ever going to use it ever, ever. Yeah. I was envisioning this bracket I was going to put on the wall, this swing arm bracket that I could be like laying against the wall next to the couch. I could swing them out over the couch in front of me. Using my trackpad with my finger.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think that might not work out.
And our mate Joe put out a 4-part essay over the Christmas break all about the exposure triangle and why it's wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it wrong? Or what he put out, was that wrong?
I must admit, when I opened up my text document this evening and I looked at it, I went, mention Joe's 4-part essay on the exposure triangle and why it's wrong. And I'm thinking, I remember reading it. I don't remember what was wrong with his essay.
See, that's what I thought when I read your notes. I thought, why is it wrong? What's he done wrong?
It took me a couple of minutes of looking at this going, what was wrong with his essay? I don't remember. And then I realised, it's what was wrong with the exposure triangle. That's right.
So, should get him on so he can explain it.
Absolutely.
We should do that. Reach out to him.
I will find the link to it. It's about a half-hour read.
Yeah, so he can come on and we can just, I'll try and be quiet and you can be quiet and he can talk for half an hour and tell us. So what is an exposure triangle, Bruce?
Well,
is that like the musical triangle in the orchestra? Ding! Yeah. At the end of every photo, you go ding.
So it's all about this idea we've been sold on, aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, and he's basically taking issue with the ISO setting as it appears on all of our digital cameras, whether they're DSLR or mirrorless. And his issue is that the ISO setting on a digital camera does not, contrary to what we have been told, increase the sensitivity of the sensor. All it is a mathematical multiplication of the binary value for the photons detected at each pixel site, multiplied by whatever the scaling factor is according to how much you're trying to boost the ISO. And I don't want to paraphrase it and mess it up. So like I said, I am going to put the link in the show notes. I highly encourage people to go and read it. I know it's a half-hour commitment, but I really think there's a lot of validity to what he talks about.
Okay, but.
Yeah.
Does it matter? Does it make a difference?
I think
if it's right or wrong?
I think it matters to anyone who shoots RAW. I don't think it necessarily matters to people who shoot JPEG.
Why would it make a cahoots difference if you shoot RAW or JPEG?
Because part of the argument is don't worry about the ISO. Like he says, you should set your shutter speed first, right? And he says set the shutter speed with intent. Those were his words.
Yeah.
Meaning, decide whether or not you want to freeze the action or whether you want to include motion blur, and to what degree do you want motion blur or frozen action, and choose your shutter speed with that intent in mind.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that.
Once you've done that, choose your aperture for feel. Meaning how much depth of field or how much bokeh do you want in the image.
Or lack thereof,
And once you've done that, shoot at the base ISO of your camera, because that's where the noise is the least, even if it means you end up with an underexposed image. Now, this is why I say...
A completely black image,
Well, this is why I say it depends on whether you shoot JPEG or RAW, because if you shoot RAW...
So I'm shooting RAW, it's still black.
Yes, but you've got the ability to lift it. With a JPEG, you don't. Well,
how much?
Depends on the bit rate or the bit depth of the sensor that's capturing the light.
Okay. I need to shoot basketball teams running around indoors in low light.
Yep.
I need a 2,000 shutter speed to make sure they're all frozen. But I need f16 to make sure I've got them all in focus, because I've got to have everyone's face in focus. Okay, so now my photo's 22 stops underexposed. How am I lifting that?
I don't think it would be 22 stops, but I get your point. And I would, again, encourage you to go and read the article.
Okay. I want to shoot for some motion.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe just a 15th of a second. I want just a little bit of motion.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to shoot at 1.2 because I want that lovely soft bokeh in my motion. Mm-hmm. But I'm also shooting under blazing 45-degree sunlight.
Yep.
And I'm 22 stops overexposed. Everything's white. How am I fixing that?
That's going to be a problem, because if you've clipped your highlights, then that data's gone forever.
So the system is bogus.
Well, no, you could shoot with a neutral density filter.
I didn't say that, and that's not part of the exposure triangle. You said I've just got to fix it in post. The whole concept is fix it in post, is what you're telling me. The answer to his argument is fix it in post. God forbid get it right in camera, fix it in post. I've been at a wedding. I've taken 27,000 shots. Got to fix every one of them. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. Yes. Remember Firstly, sorry, happy 35th wedding anniversary. I just want to, I've almost got your photos ready. What? He died 17 years ago. So, you want him taken out of the photos? That'll take a bit longer. I mean, I completely get what he's saying.
One part of the argument is that the firmware in your camera does the best that it can, and it's based on the science that existed at the time that camera was manufactured. Right. And let's be real, camera manufacturers have no financial incentive whatsoever to keep developing firmware upgrades to the camera that you paid for 10 years ago, because there's no return on that.
That's right. Why would you buy a new one?
Okay, yeah. But the software that we use to develop our raw files is improving every day. And I can absolutely go along with this idea. I've got raw files that are, now 15 years old that I can get much better results from today than I could out of Lightroom 15 years ago. So I think there's an argument there that, the software gets better and better, and this is why I have always maintained it's good to shoot RAW, because the software does get better. Noise reduction has certainly come a long way in 15 years. You look at the stuff.
But if you shot a base ISO, noise reduction wouldn't have mattered.
Well, yes and no. If you've shot 22 stops, to use your number, underexposed, and you have to boost that in post, you are going to increase the noise. But it won't be as bad using newer software than if you use the 10-year-old firmware that's in the camera.
Well, you wouldn't be boosting it in the camera, though, would you?
Well, you are, because ISO is a furphy.
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
If I shot 800 ISO rather than 100 ISO and a 10-year-old camera, I had to boost up those 4 stops.
Yep.
It's only 4 stops is probably okay. If I'm shooting, I don't know. But
read the article.
No, I'm not going to read the article.
I know you're not.
I don't care. I would never do it in the first place.
And you don't shoot RAW.
And I get it right in camera, it doesn't matter. And if it's noisy, it's just turn to black and white. It's art. It's pretty freaking simple, It's simple.
Yeah.
I think, okay, I'm saying that technically, in some circumstances, he's right.
Mm-hmm.
Practically, in all circumstances, for most people, it's fairly unworkable.
Right.
You've gone on holidays, you've shot 7,000 photos.
Yeah.
You're not doing that.
Yeah.
Even if you're batch processing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? You want to take a photo and look on the back of the camera and see it looking nice.
Yeah. True.
Really. Yeah. You're on a once-in-a-lifetime holiday.
Yeah.
You're in Africa shooting a leopard up a tree with a kill.
Yeah.
You want to see that sucker on the back of the camera.
Yeah.
And know that you've got it.
Yeah. True.
So technically, that may, but practically, and that's the same with so much stuff in photography. All the technical stuff that's out there, and in my workshops, we pare it down to the absolute most basic crap possible. I wouldn't even, I don't even talk to aperture or shutter speeds at the workshop.
Right.
Yeah, we don't mention that sort of stuff because it's not important.
Yeah.
As he says, you choose for the feels that you want. That's your own choices.
Yeah.
But how do I get the photo good is an artistic visual concept more than what numbers I need to achieve it.
Yeah.
That's sort of secondary to it.
Put it in P for professional.
Yeah, and again, you want, and there's nothing wrong with P for professional. I shoot a lot of my travel photography in P for professional.
Right.
And auto ISO.
Yep.
It's but see,
that was a whole other part of his article. I'd forgotten about that.
Auto ISO.
Yeah, auto ISO, and he talks about every camera, pretty much all the everything that's been made in the last 10 years has an auto ISO ability, and you can define what you want
parameters,
the upper level
Yeah.
to be, and he suggests that you do some testing and work out what for you personally is the highest ISO that you are comfortable to shoot with for your camera, and that's going to differ for every camera, and you set that as the upper limit of the auto ISO range so that your camera won't go beyond that point.
He's saying 17 in base ISO, he was just saying a minute ago.
Yeah. No, it's coming back to me now as you're talking that, yes, he did talk about this whole auto ISO thing and using... Yeah. This is why I didn't want to. This is why I didn't want to try and quote him.
But it's much more fun if you do. But here's the thing too, though. I mean, and the problem with anything auto, is your camera's going to make mistakes. It doesn't know actually what it's taking a photograph
of course.
So exposure issues are going to happen all the time on any form of auto. Yeah. So I shoot a lot of my travel stuff. I choose a fixed shutter speed. Choose a fixed aperture, and 80% of the time I will be on auto ISO.
Right.
Because things happen fast, but knowing that there's going to be circumstances where I'm aiming at a scene where the balance of light and shadow is going to completely confuse the camera and stuff up the photo completely.
So do you just use exposure compensation?
No, because this time is an issue. So I will often then just flick to manual and quickly guess. Right. Yeah, it's the problem with auto ISO, even with exposure compensation. As I'm moving, it's constantly changing as well. So you've got to be very versatile. Or I have often two cameras, and one set up in all manual, and one set up in just my general walkabout shooting mode, because time is of the essence, and always know that the best shots of every single day you will miss. Because you're on the wrong mode at the wrong time for the 2,000th of a second it happens. Yeah, and you can try and shoot it, but it's not going to work out. But you eliminate, by shooting fixed shutter speed, fixed aperture, and auto ISO, you're eliminating the chance of losing 80% of those moments in reasonably even lighting conditions. You will get them where you would have missed them if you had to set anything in that short time frame you have. Yep. So look, we've done a big disservice this episode, mate.
Why?
Well, it's the first one of the year.
Yeah.
We've talked some good stuff.
Right. Set the bar too high for the year, is that what you're saying?
We ain't reaching this level again. We're lucky if we're going to come close to even half of this.
Right.
So I think we should start off with that. Maybe we should quit whilst we're ahead.
We haven't even finished.
Well, sure
there's one last thing, and that was an email that we got from Philip Johnson at the end of last year. And he said, have a great Christmas and New Year. Stay safe and healthy to you and your families. A story for next year. Aussie takes International Landscape Photographer of the Year. Images are worth a check. Congrats, Tony Hewitt. So Australian photographer Tony Hewitt was awarded the International Landscape Photographer of the Year for 2023.
He's a nice guy, Tony.
Is he?
Lovely guy.
I don't know him. But, and they've got this... it's like a photo book plug-in on the website. So when you're viewing the images, it's like you're flipping through a photo book and the pages animate. And, it's pretty funky. But anyway, that was the last thing that I had on my list of things to cover for the first episode for 2024.
Just the thing with Tony's photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I can see, they're all aerial stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a bit passé now, isn't it? I thought we were over aerial photography. Isn't that done? I thought we'd finished that.
I don't know. Obviously not.
Obviously, it must be the last year of it. I thought the memo had gone out to everybody.
Right.
We're not doing that anymore.
There's some beautiful stuff.
Tom Putt who's a great aerial photographer. He was saying, "No, it's over. It's done." I remember him saying it recently. We've done that. Next, and that's the thing with drone photography too. Like I said, it's sort of the market did get a little bit saturated there for a while. Of aerial stuff, But good on him. No, Tony's a lovely guy, so good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
All right. Well, we will call it a day for this episode.
Well, it's night time, though, Bruce.
It is a night. That's correct. We can call it a night.
I'm just having a quick flick. I'm having a quick flick through some of the Best Desert Award photo. It's very cool. Yeah, some lovely stuff there. I mean,
beautiful stuff in there.
Some lovely stuff. Yeah.
What I meant to mention that on the page further up, there was a bell curve. And I couldn't help but think of Mr. Lavender when I saw this graph. It was the entries in the scoring range, and it was all about how, you got these in the middle of the bell curve, all of these people who scored really well, but then you've got these outliers, and it sort of drops off dramatically at either end of the bell curve. And
which way's good, which way's bad, though? Top 101 required a score of at least 85.4. Oh, there's a fair few down there in 70, didn't they? Oh, yeah. There's no one got below 70, though. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
Oh, out of the top 100 and...
See,
I don't know.
To me, if you've got nothing that scored below 70, then you need to redistribute all of the scores from 70 to 100 between 0 and 100.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting
that the quality is all just so damn good.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting that, we were having a conversation last year about you judging at Ballarat, I think it was, and you were saying you had to go through 1,400 images in 3 minutes.
Rockham. No, it was somewhere Billowheeler.
Oh, Billowheeler,
outback
was it?
Queensland.
Yeah. And I brought up this whole notion of, the bell curve distribution and so when I saw that graph,
it's perfectly. It looks just like a bell.
It does.
That's actually why they call it a bell curve, Bruce.
Is it? Because it looks like a bell.
Yep.
Who would have thunk it?
I know, right?
Mate, you have a good couple of weeks.
I will, and you too.
And we will talk to you in a fortnight.
You will. Take care, everybody. Sorry about this podcast. We'll be back to our usual low standard next time.
See you, mate.
Bye.
You've been listening to Shutters Inc. For questions, comments, and feedback, email theboys@shuttersincpodcast.com.